My father always jokes that I could be doing anything. I said, listen, by the time I'm 25 years old, I'm gonna be a self-made millionaire. And he laughed at me.
How old are you?
I'm 24 now, so I feel like a millionaire. I feel like a superstar, and that's the way
Visualizing is my biggest tool of life. That's why I've been able to put myself in cold water, put myself in a 100-mile race, and I'm able to go through the race and see how I'm going to feel at mile 50.
Because every single time when I had a vision about anything, I had to work my ass.
What you have at the moment, Mr. Owen, you've attracted by the person you've become. What you have at the moment, you've attracted by the person you've become. Few little simple principles here. Once you understand these, it starts to explain so much. Now, sometimes it's a little tough to take, blaming yourself instead of the marketplace, taking responsibility instead of putting it off on someone else. That transition sometimes is a challenging mission. And this one was a little tough for me. He said, Mr. Owen, you've got pennies in your pocket, you've got nothing in the bank, the creditors are calling, you're behind on your promises. And he says,
You are on your way to having your first $1 million in the bank and all of your bills paid.
I already saw all this moving in my mind, it's just a question of time to bring all this in reality.
The key to living the law of attraction. Constant repetition carries conviction.
So then as you begin to think about a new possibility and your brain begins to fire in new sequences and new patterns and new combinations, and you begin to plan your behaviors and you begin to review in your mind, mentally rehearse who you're going to be in your life. The mere action of mental rehearsal begins to install the neurological circuits in your brain. Now your brain is no longer a record of the past. Now it's in fact a map to the future. And over again, when people do this, it may take them...
The world is your oyster. That's all I tell people. It's this and it's heaven. While you're on earth, you got to take advantage of this. And that doesn't mean for everybody to be a rapper, for everybody to be a producer. Do what you do to the fullest and live your life.
Find something. Find a thing that you genuinely enjoy, because getting good at things you genuinely enjoy is extremely beneficial for young people. Everybody thinks they're a loser. Every young person thinks they're a loser. At least a young person in the situation I was at. I didn't know I wasn't a loser until I started winning.
They say, well, I don't know what to do. It's like, that's okay. Nobody does.
Because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive where people are like, what the f*** wrong with this guy? I don't want to talk to you, man, because you're not going to get it. You will never understand what is wrong with me. I'm so glad you don't.
I've always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? There's really no point in even going. That's the attitude I've had my entire life, and that's
at the beginning, but after that, it becomes easier, and you actually feel happy.
People don't see that. People will never understand that. To be success, all they think about, well, he batted 202, and he struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. But the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything, So that's the things that my father and my mother instilled in me. Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail.
I wanted to feel something besides defeat. I wanted to just go the distance. I was the 36th African-American SEAL in history. So I was like, man, what story would it be if my fat, dumb, insecure ass can overcome this shit? I want to be the guy that people looked at but said, this motherfucker is going to keep coming after whatever the fuck is in front of him.
You can't just pout and scream and kick your fists and say it's not fucking fair, because guess what? It isn't fucking fair. It's never going to be
the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
You guys know that, if you do the work, you work hard enough, dreams come true. You know that, we all know that. But hopefully what you get from tonight is the understanding that those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, Those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired.
Develop the quality of being unstoppable. Say in yourself that no matter what life throws at me, it'll never stop me. No matter how rough it gets, I will never quit, and nothing will ever stop me. Make the decision that you can be tired, you can be worn out, but nothing is ever going to stop you.
Get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the noise. Get back to the mental lab.
The ones who grind, get it. Period. You can't be.
Man, believe that it is. But to get to that life, you're going to have to jump.
Everybody has that voice in their head that says, hey, could you really do this? If you really believe that you could be something, if you have that little voice in your head saying, hey, you got talent, you could do this, then follow that voice.
When you ask me, like, why do you do it? It's because there's a possibility that you can, and that's enough. Like, I think I can do this, and so why would I not? If I know I can be something, then that's what's moving me. Just the sheer point that I might be able to do it.
Everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can mold it. The minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will pop out the other side, that's maybe the most important thing.
And the other thing that's so interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is going to kill you.
So noise, because at the end of the day, you are the only one who has the guts. We have the guts to go to work and show up every single day, day in and day out, putting in the work. Hardest workers in the room. It's not just some cool saying that we say or a cool hashtag. It's a lifestyle, and it comes from in here. It's how we eat.
Never stop fighting. No matter what anyone says, no matter how they try to compromise you, compromise your vision. If it's in your gut, if it's in your soul, there's no worldly possessions that should come between you and your expression. Human beings, we're a blip in existence. Death is promised. So what do you do with your...
I'm not a father to my kids. I'm not a friend to my friends. I'm nothing.
I wanted to save Gus. I failed.
Why do we force? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
It's dangerous to dwell on past mistakes. People sort of define themselves by the worst moments that they've ever had. And if that's the case, like some people are stuck in high school. You know, they're stuck in failures that they had like when they were first getting jobs, and they always think that they're a loser, and they keep low expectations so that they never have to feel that. You got to get through it. You got to get through bad feelings, and you get through it.
That direction. And the better you describe them, the more they pull.
Let me tell you something about life and the law of attraction. You don't get what you wish for.
Asking is the beginning of receiving, so start the process. Here's number 2. Receiving is not the problem. Receiving is automatic.
Going to get anywhere in life, spiritually or otherwise, until you come to that point where you don't give a damn what people think about you.
You must assume that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption. You don't need evidence of your senses. You have a tendency to believe that what your eyes and ears tell you is reality. But this is what we know by our senses. You know, it's like a millionth of a millimeter, and all that is unknown is in the invisible, in the imagination. You'll see it when you believe it.